It's a mental little car, absolutely mental. I've had so many people say to me, Calvin, you need to get out in a Fiesta ST, and we just had one come in. So I know a lot of people are going to be quite happy about this video going up, and I've never driven one before. I have just been out for a little drive in this thing, and I'm well impressed with it. It is a tuned car, and we're going to go for a drive in it. We're going to go for a little walk around it, standard sort of platform that I always do, and at the end of the video we're going to be doing draggy times, alright? So at long last, ladies and gentlemen, a Ford Fiesta ST2. Right, a Fiesta ST then. So this is an ST2, and if I'm honest with you, which I love to be honest with you, I don't actually know the full differences between the ST1, the ST2 and the ST3. It just seems like the ST2 is the most common one. I'm pretty sure it's a spec level. I'm sure loads of people will correct me on that. But the ST1 seems to have fully cloth seats. The ST2s have got sort of half leather, half cloth seats. So it's a nice car. This one in particular is a Cat C car. And I'm pretty good at guessing this sort of stuff. At a guess, I reckon it crashed into Halfords, because it's got, you can see, it's got this sort of stuff on it. And as I walk around the car, you'll see it's got lots of very Halfords looking stuff in it. But some of the stuff is actually really nice. So it's got Maxton design front splitter, side skirts, and a rear splitter as well. That looks really nice. But little touches like, let's talk about the negatives first. Let's get the negatives out of the way. Then rear lights. Oh, come on, man, what is that all about? That is criminal, isn't it? So yeah, sometimes, like I said this about my my 1 Series, which is actually parked over there. Let's quickly get over there. Sometimes you can get a bit carried away, you know. I don't want to do that in my car. I want to keep it looking clean. The whole black and white theme. I love that black and white theme, but I want it to still have a clean look. And I think this Fiesta seems to have gone a bit overboard. But let's talk about the positives. So it is a stage 2 car. We don't have a dyno again, but I have got a hell of a lot of paperwork for it. I just sat in the car, had a flick through. So headlight bulbs. It's had a cam belt as well. Credit to the previous owner, the guy that sold this car to us. He hung on to all the paperwork. It's nice to see that. But we've got no dyno. But a stage 1 car would obviously be software alone, but this is this has got some hardware. This has got a filter under the bonnet. It's got a Miltech Sports Cat, and at the back we've got a Miltech back box as well, which I just mentioned as well. I've just been for a drive in it, and it sounds unreal. Tips look quite nice as well. Look, little Miltech badges on the end of them. So yeah, sounds amazing. It's also had a pops and bangs, not pops and bangs, like a crackle map installed. It's been done by a company called Puma Speed. I have heard of them, but I'm not massive into the Ford scene, so I don't know loads about the whole Ford thing, all right? But Puma Speed, there's loads of invoices from them, and I sound like I'm trying to sell you this car, don't I? I'm not trying to sell you the car. I don't care. I'm not here to sell this car. I'm here because I want to get this bloody thing on my channel. So if we go on the interior, again, bear in mind, this is the first time I've had one of these cars. So earlier on, I pulled the door handle, I opened up the door, and I went inside. And when I got inside, I'm not going to lie, I'm so impressed with the interior of these cars. Them seats look almost out of place. They look so good that they look like they shouldn't be in this car. Steering wheel, the ST badge in the middle there, I think that probably has been added aftermarket, but I like that little touch. That's what I mean. Some of these things that this guy has done to this car are actually really nice, but the little things are almost a bit overboard. But the interior is subtly done. It's really nice. Blue footwell lights, bit unsure about that sort of stuff. ST badge anyway at the bottom of the steering wheel there, and we've got, like, you know, different gear knob. We do have the standard gear knob in here somewhere. Would I have gone to the effort to change that? Yeah, I think I would. That was a good move. Heated seats, then we've got a different start button there for the push button. Let's not press that just yet because I want to show you the noise in a sec. Let me just flip that round. So I think that's enough for the walk around. Let's quickly walk around it again, make sure I ain't missed nothing. Carbon little side things there, I like that. That's quite nice. They're not proper. Are they proper carbon? They might well be proper carbon. I don't think they are. The Ford badges, again, it ain't over the top. I think that's quite nice. But them eyelid things on the headlights, I don't like them. Splitter kit, I do like. Spoiler lift kit, is that necessary? I don't know. But yeah, you know, people do like to go a bit overboard. From that angle, it looks really good. But apart from the back lights, I'm just really not like. Let me know what you think to the back lights. Am I in the wrong to comment negatively about them back lights? Let me quickly start it, just show you what it sounds like, because it sounds bloody unbelievable. As I started it, a farmer let his shotgun off in the distance. That was not this car that's made that banging noise. But on tick over, ain't much life there, is there? I think it is warm, by the way, so don't be bloody.
I can't believe it's revving it because it ain't warmed up yet.
Look, something else, I didn't point that out as well. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a bit over top. But what we'll do is we'll get out for a little drive, yeah? Let's stop messing around. We're going to go out for a drive, have some fun in it, and then at the end of the video, we're going to do draggy time to see how quickly this thing can get to 60. And I think a good thing to compare this car to is, I done a video recently, which a lot of you would have seen, on a Stage 2 Focus ST 2006, so an earlier car, but it done 0 to 60 in I think 6.6 seconds. Quoted times as a stock car by Ford to 60 on one of these is 0 to 60 in 6.9 seconds. So in theory, I am struggling to match or let alone beat manufacturer's times, but in theory I should come close to the 6.6 that the Stage 2 Focus ST done. So yeah, let's get out for a drive. Quick as well. Manual. I'm in a bloody manual sports hatch again, and it sounds amazing. Slightly off the subject a little bit. A car that I really want to get my hands on at the minute is a Ford Focus RS. I don't really care which one. I think out of preference, I'd like to get my hands on the Mark II, which is like the leariest looking one of the lot. I think it's manual gearbox, front wheel drive. Apparently they're a bit of a nightmare to drive, loads of torque steer, but for some reason I've got a real bug to have one in my life. So if anyone is selling a Focus RS, get in contact with me, yeah? And it's a Ford as well. I don't get many Fords on the channel, so I want to step into the Ford scene as much as I can. This car, I'm driving it hard already, aren't I? Standard there 180 bhp, so it's obviously a comparable car to Corsa VXR, which if you've followed me for a little while, you'll know that I love Corsa VXRs. I think they're wicked little cars, they're great fun to drive, and it's that same theme, and it's that sports hatch, front wheel drive, manual gearbox with a turbo under the bonnet. So that combination is a nice little combo. And these cars, I've had a bug to drive one of these for ages, and it's just never happened. So it's quite nice to finally be in the driver's seat at one. Now Stage 1 is apparently about 220 bhp, which is that one there? No way, is that another ST or is that just a Z-Tech S? That was a nice car. They do look good, that's a good point as well. They do look bloody good, don't they? Even as a standard car, they're a nice looking car. And I think in comparison to a Corsa, build quality is better. When you get in here, like I say, the seats are really nice. Steering wheel feels really solid, and like the steering in general feels solid and on point. And just to finish with the dash and the interior, it's a nicer place to be. A lot of people might dispute that, but I don't know. But yeah, the tuning. So Stage 1 will get you software alone apparently gets you about to about 220 bhp, and then obviously Stage 2 gives you another 30 horsepower. Obviously it depends where you go and stuff like that, but it's quite a lot of power in it for a little car, and it's about 1300 kilos. So again, a good little combo, big power, little weight, manual gearbox. There's a horse here, so I'm going to calm down. I've got that crackle map on as well, and there you go. You're welcome, my darling. It does crackle a lot, so if I undo the window a little bit and drive through this section of the road here, put my foot down. when you sort of, you know, sometimes when you're in one of these stupidly leery, noisy cars, pulls so well. You throttle it, if you just throttle it a little bit and let off, it crackles. There you go, we had a bang there. Ah, oh, there you go. Now, stones spraying at me everywhere. Horrible roads. I do feel a little bit old to be rallying the shit out of a Fiesta ST, to be honest, but I'm in my heart, I love these types of cars. Is it crazy that I love this type of car? The kind of feeling or the excitement you get from driving this type of car. You can just floor them round bends, and because it's a front wheel drive, just point the front wheels wherever you want it to go and it will take you there. And I love that about front wheel drive cars. There's that debate obviously that they don't put power down, and obviously if you tune them too much they just wheel spin, and for draggy times they are a bit of a nightmare because you try and put your foot down and it just spins. It is a bit annoying, but kind of I do like the fact sometimes when you put your foot down in a car and it sort of does exactly what you tell it to. With a four-wheel drive car, because the traction is so good, there is almost a bit of a delay there when you accelerate, which obviously is great when you've got shed loads of power, but on this sort of level it's nice. Now I don't know what reliability is like on these cars, but obviously the Corsa VXRs have got their issues. They overheat, is it cylinder 3 or 4, they go down on them. They do have their issues, and I've never actually had an issue with a Corsa VXR in my life, but I've heard a lot about the problems with them. Value for money, let's talk about value for money. That's something I always love to touch on. These currently start at about £6,500, so still quite a pricey car, but probably not quite as good value for money as of course the VXR, but you do get more for your money, I would say. Everyone's looking, oh, pop. Everyone's looking at me like, oh, what's that idiot doing? He looks well old as well. Why is that idiot driving a kid's car? Because he likes kids' cars, that's why. There's another Fiesta there, that's a normal one. I do like Fiestas. I've always liked, do you know what? I almost said I've always liked Fords. I haven't always liked Fords. As a kid, I was a Vauxhall guy. I used to love Vauxhall. I don't know why, Vauxhall was just a thing. And then I obviously ventured into German cars and had a little taste with Japanese cars. But I never ever got into Fords. But when I did one day drive a Ford, not to say for the first time, but the first proper Ford I ever drove was a Focus ST. And when I got into it, after being a guy that loves Astra VXRs, I was like, you know what, this car's alright. This is a solid little car, and they do feel very solid. The build quality is surprisingly good, and growing up with that Ford brand, when I was I'm not even that old, I'm talking like I'm bloody old, I'm not that old, I'm 32 years old, born in 1987. Ford stood for fix or repair daily, because they were literally that bad. They were terrible cars. They just used to break all the time, every day, and they had a bad name for themselves. And when I drove, it's like later on in line they perfected things and they started getting things right. And nowadays they're really good cars. But when I eventually drove a good Ford, I was won over. And now I'm sat in this driver's seat saying to everyone, I actually want to go out and buy myself a Ford Focus RS. I genuinely do. I think they're a great car. Not driven one before, but that's something that I want to buy and maybe tune and have some fun with on my channel. Now, let's stop talking about other Fords. Let's talk about this one. What else can I say about it? I suppose the thing you really want to know is performance, don't you? Because that's all that matters. I talk a lot about peak power. Obviously, it's not true that the more power you have, the more fun you'll have. Actually, that is true. No, that is definitely true. The more power you have under your bonnet, the more fun you'll definitely have. But I think the theory is, I always say this, don't think that a car with less power is going to be less fun. Does that even make sense? My point being, anyway, this has only got 250 bhp, and a lot of people are going to say, Calvin, it's only 250 bhp. Don't talk to us like it's a massively exciting car. Come on, man. If anyone got in the driver's seat of this car with the power that is currently running, obviously it's not been dynoed, so let's have a bit of give or take, around 240, 250 bhp. Trust me, I don't care who you are, if you know how to have fun in the car, I think I'm going to turn down here. If you know how to drive, you know how to have fun in the car, you will absolutely love the drive of this car. It is great fun. Alright, so all in all, my thoughts on this particular ST, because I know a hell of a lot of people are probably looking at buying one, either or currently own one, or have had one in the past. Everyone that is in that position has got every right to think highly of these cars, because my first impressions of them are really good. And as I always say as well, stock cars are just not for me. I just struggle to have and drive and own stock cars. In my opinion, everything needs to be tuned. So this is always the level of tuning that I like to go to, because it's just right, isn't it? The performance is everywhere where you want it to be, and it's just spot on. So yeah, first impressions of an ST Fiesta is I really like it, and I love the fact that, you know, noise is everything, isn't it? I love a car that makes loads of noise, and this car, let's skip marks on the road, someone's been having some fun here, does make a great amount of noise. I like the touch. Like, a lot of people don't like pops and bangs and crackles. A lot of people say it's a bit over the top doing that sort of stuff. This car has got a lot of stuff that is a little bit over the top, but I love pops and bangs, I love crackles, I love that sort of crazy, noisy, blary sort of stuff going on. So for me, that's something I'm actually really liking about this car. Let's do it again. It's great fun. It's wicked. So what I'm going to do, get a nice amount of turbo noise as well. I didn't mention that. You get like a real nice blowy turbo noise. Sounds so good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to head back now, and we're going to do draggy times. Let's see how quick we can get it to 60. Right, so as ever, the app that we're going to be using today is Draggy. I've got the GPS box mounted to the window just there. I'm going to connect to it. This car, well, let's talk about the pros and cons. Obviously the front wheel drive thing is a bit of a negative, but I do reckon that we'll put the power down quite well. Torque steer, it does have quite a bit of torque steer. A bit of a nightmare, I suppose, for putting power down, but do you know what? I actually quite like a bit of torque steer. As much as it is a bit, I suppose, you kind of lose a bit of, there's a lack of control to an extent, but it's just fun, isn't it? I just love that that sort of sketchiness. Manual gearbox obviously ain't ideal for draggy times. Bit of a pain trying to get it through the gears as quickly as you can, but I will do the best jobs I possibly can. And we have got this wonderful gear knob, which may help us about that much, literally about that much. So the handbrake handle, by the way, I like that. I don't know if that's standard. I know it's completely off the subject, but I do really like that. And it has got heated seats, which we don't need today because it's actually a really nice day, but it's a nice little spec option, isn't it? So I'm going to stop banging on, and we're going to do, as ever, plan for draggy times is we're going to do 3 runs. I might do more if I don't get a great time in 3 runs. 3 or 4 runs. I'll show 1 run on camera, and then we'll catch up at the end of the video in a sec, and I'll tell you what performance or what time we got. All right, is that right? That is right, isn't it? Let's do it. Sounds so good. It's a I didn't say that. It's a 1.6 4-cylinder turbo engine, by the way. This is the meatiest 4-cylinder engine I've ever heard. Anyway, let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, so the wheel spin theory is yeah, definitely going to be a bit of a problem. 3, 2, 1, go. That's it. That was quick, so I'll pull over, I'll do a few runs, and I'll put back in a sec, alright? See you in a bit. Right, so I have got the times, the draggy times. Right, so the draggy times, that's why you're all here, isn't it? The draggy times. So, what did I say 0 to 60 was? Stock power was 6.8 seconds. Yeah, we beat that, guys. We beat it, which I'm quite happy. Like, it's quite a good achievement to beat stock. I know, like, this is tuned, but it's quite a task, man. It did wheel spin a lot off the line. It was a bit of a nightmare, but it was also great fun. So I liked it. I love all the noise and the pops and the bangs and the turbo whistle that this thing makes. It's great. But 0 to 60, I ain't gonna mess around and get straight into it. 0 to 60, it done it in 6.29 seconds. That is a quality time for a little Ford Fiesta. And if you look at my CCD draggy leaderboard, let me just get that up on my phone quick so I know what I'm talking about. It fits basically between the tuned Audi S3, which done it in 5.8 seconds, but more comparable to the Audi TT manual coupe 2-wheel drive that was a stock car. So if you own one of these cars, you get it tuned, you're going to be keeping up with stock S3s and Audi TTs, like the 2-litre TFSI engines. That's pretty impressive, isn't it? So my sort of overall thought and feeling on this car was, something else I actually noticed was, it's completely pointless, but I had the M2 draggy times up on here, and if you race an M2, it's going to take you from 30 to 70 mile an hour. It's going to take you a whole second longer to hit 70 than the M2 will hit 70. Pointless, but it's something that I found quite interesting. So don't race an M2 because it will beat you. This car, what's my overall feeling on it? My overall feeling is, lots of people said to me, Calvin, you need to get out in a Fiesta ST. I've finally done it today, and everyone that talked so highly of this car was absolutely spot on. They're wicked cars. They're proper good cars. A highlight for me with this car, strangely, is the seats. Like, the seats, I think they look so good. They look almost out of place for a Ford Fiesta. They literally are that good. I like the steering wheel as well. I talk about steering wheels a lot. It's an important feature of a car. It needs to be right. It's a nice steering wheel, and I said that even about the earlier Focus STs. I love the steering wheels in them cars. Obviously it's an older car, but steering wheel game is strong in this car. I think I've covered everything. I love the noise it makes. If you do buy one of these cars, you know, let's talk about buying one. That's something that we need to talk about. This car's done 58,000 miles. It will go up for sale on my Binker website. If it is still available by the time this video goes live, which I don't think it will be, but if it is, I'll put a link for it in the description below if you want to check that out. It's done 58. I just mentioned it's done 58,000 miles. I'm going to tell you again, it's done 58,000 miles. It's a nice car, but obviously it's categorized. But I think the point that I want to make, that I always want to make with every video that I do on every car, is give you my opinion on if you're about to go and buy one. If you're thinking about buying this car, what do I think to that? I think that it's a great car. It's a wicked car. It's a wicked choice of car. Why? There's not really much you can compare it to either. If you're in the Ford scene, or you like Fords, or not even if you just like Fords, but they tick so many boxes. It's such a good car. Definitely consider getting the same setup as this. I love the pops and bangs and crackles thing. I managed to master how to make it bang as well in the end. Look, check this clip out. Got the hang of it now. So I was having loads of fun with making loads of noise. It's a Miltech Sports Cat, Miltech back box. I know you know that already, and like I say, it's a stage 2 map. All right, so I would recommend buying one. I'd also recommend going to stage 2 on it. I'm going to end it there. I've definitely banged on enough in this video. I'm not going to apologise because I enjoy it, if I'm honest. I like talking about cars and I like banging on. So, but if you did like the video and you like this Focus Fiesta ST, hit like. If you are new to my channel, hit subscribe. I'm going to remind you to hit the bell icon. I do upload every Wednesday and Sunday at 6 o'clock, so it's pretty pointless hitting the bell icon, but it's a great way to just get that little notification on your phone when I upload. Alright, so do hit the bell icon, and that's it. I'm done. I'll see you in my next video. Alright, bye. In the next episode of Diary of a Car Trader, finally the day has come to collect my Audi RS6.